Beyond the Gates Spoilers Monday update. The 24th of August, 2026. Oh my god, besties, welcome back to our channel. It is a beautiful day outside, but honestly, I wouldn't know because I have been trapped in my room spiraling over these new updates. You guys, I am deceased. Stop what you are doing right now. Put down your iced coffee, pull over your car, and listen to me because I am literally shaking. Wait, we need to talk about this now. I am physically unwell. My soul has actually left my body and is currently floating somewhere above the DMV area because the Beyond the Gate spoilers for Friday, August 21st just dropped, and it is straight up absolute cinematic mayhem. I'm literally filming this while I'm running errands, walking through the aisles looking like an absolute lunatic because I just had to jump on here and vent. I was mid-skincare when the notification hit my phone and I smeared charcoal mask all over my white rug, literally had to yeet my phone across the room because the sheer audacity of these plot lines is astronomical. It's giving major, I cannot even energy, and we are spilling all the tea right now. Bestie, be for real right now? How are we supposed to survive this week? Okay, wait, backtrack for a second, I missed a step. Let's start with Chelsea Hamilton because I am genuinely hyperventilating over her storyline. The spoilers say Chelsea is being haunted by her past trauma, and my brain immediately went to the kidnapping. Do you guys remember the hostage situation? Because I still have nightmares about it. It was legitimately one of the most traumatizing things to ever happen on this show. And apparently, her feelings about it were never truly resolved. Which, relatable, who gets over being held hostage? But the tea here is that this might bring Allison back into the picture. If Allison comes back, I am calling it, the villain arc is about to go nuclear. Chelsea has been through enough, and now she's getting flashbacks? I'm glitching. Okay, back to the main event. The fact that something is triggering Chelsea's memories of being a hostage right when she's trying to plan her life with Madison is basically a recipe for a total psychological meltdown. And don't even get me started on the vibes, it's like the writers are personally attacking my soul by making Chelsea suffer again. Did I say that yet? Ugh, my brain is mush. Moving on. But seriously, think about how this affects her current relationship. Madison and Chelsea are supposed to be endgame, right? We've been rooting for them, we've been manifesting their happiness, and now this past trauma is bubbling up to the surface like a toxic geyser. I can just picture Chelsea staring blankly at a wall, completely disassociating, while Madison is trying to ask her about wedding napkins or something completely mundane. It is straight up heartbreaking, but also 10/10 cinematic drama, and I am totally living for it, even though it hurts my heart. Chelsea's vulnerability is always played so beautifully, but if this trauma starts driving a wedge between her and Madison, I will genuinely riot. They are officially on my do not perceive list if they break up. I am so done. But knowing this show, Chelsea is going to internalize everything, push Madison away, and create a massive communication breakdown that will have me screaming into my pillow at 3 a.m. Oh, hold on. I should have mentioned this earlier, but Dr. Madison Montgomery is about to be in the absolute thick of it on her own professional front. The T says Madison is going to receive two completely conflicting stories. Now, let's unpack this, because Madison isn't just Chelsea's fiancé. She is literally Bill Hamilton's doctor. Is this about Bill's mysterious diagnosis? Because if it is, I'm going to lose my actual mind. We all know Hayley has been slowly poisoning Bill since October 2025, which makes her the absolute worst Black Widow copycat in the history of television, by the way. Girl, if you're gonna do it right. This slow drip nonsense is embarrassing. But anyway, Madison is trying to figure out why Bill is mysteriously crashing, and now she's getting conflicting stories. Is Hayley feeding her some bogus narrative about Bill's diet or pre-existing conditions, while someone else, maybe Caroline Lee or even Joey Armstrong, is telling her the truth? I am literally imagining Madison in her perfectly tailored scrubs, by the way, tangent. But can we talk about how good her scrubs always look? They are so snatched. I need to know her tailor. It's such a specific aesthetic choice, and I am obsessed. Anyway, back to the drama. Madison is standing there in the hospital corridor, holding a clipboard, getting gaslit by Hayley Hamilton. Hayley is probably putting on the waterworks, playing the devoted, terrified wife, while completely omitting the fact that she's been slipping poison into his system for almost a year. And then, maybe Caroline storms in, looking immaculate and stressed, and tells Madison that Hayley is a straight-up liar. Madison is a brilliant doctor, but she is being pulled into a psychological game of cat and mouse that she did not sign up for. I am shaking, just thinking about it. Madison needs to order a full toxicology report stat, or I am going to march into that hospital myself and do it for her. And speaking of the hospital, Let's pivot to the man of the hour, Bill Hamilton. You guys, Bill has apparently reached his absolute breaking point. The spoilers are asking if he's had enough and if he's going to check himself out against medical advice like he did last time. Honestly, I don't blame him. The man is lying in a hospital bed, probably hooked up to a million beeping monitors, which, by the way, that background noise in hospital scenes always gives me so much anxiety. It's like a ticking time bomb, and he is surrounded by absolute chaos. He's trying to recover from whatever botched revival attempt Hayley pulled earlier in the week, and he's just completely over it. But wait, let's be real for a second. Bill is not a victim here. Bestie, be for real right now. This man is a menace. He literally tried to seduce Dani Dupree from his hospital bed just a few days ago. He is lying there, practically on his deathbed, and he's still trying to play games with his ex-wife while his current wife, who is poisoning him, karma is real, is hovering around. It's giving major narcissistic energy. But now, he's hit his breaking point. Is he tired of the hospital food? Is he tired of the IV drips? Or is he just completely, utterly exhausted by the fact that the two women in his life cannot stop screaming at each other over his semi-conscious body? Yes, you heard me right. Hayley and Dani are going to clash for the umpteenth time. I am literally hyperventilating right now because the sheer audacity of these two women fighting over Bill Hamilton in the year 2026 is beyond me. Dani, sweetie, I love you, but you need an intervention. We just saw Dani face a literal family tribunal. Anita, Vernon, and Nicole basically put her on trial because she had a massive Freudian slip and called Bill her husband in public. Like, girl, you are married to Andre. Andre, the man who has been your rock? And yet, Dani is still trauma bonded to Bill and cannot stay away from him. So now, she's back at the hospital, probably bringing him some homemade soup or something, and Hayley catches her. I can picture the scene so vividly, it's like I directed it myself. Hayley walks into the hospital room, carrying her fake concern and a cup of poison tea, and sees Dani leaning over Bill's bed. The tension in that room is going to be so thick you could cut it with a scalpel. Hayley is going to absolutely lose her mind. She's already furious that Bill reached out to Dani earlier this week, and now Dani is physically invading her space. They are going to start screaming at each other, throwing decades of baggage in each other's faces. Hayley is going to bring up the fact that Dani is married, and Dani is going to bring up the fact that Hayley used to be her daughter's best friend before she stole Bill. It's a messy, unfiltered, emotional train wreck, and I am seated for every single second of it. And poor Bill, well, not poor Bill, he deserves it, but Bill is just lying there, watching these two women tear each other apart. That has to be his breaking point. Imagine being heavily medicated, feeling like your organs are failing, thanks Hayley, and you have a front row seat to the Real Housewives of Fairmont Crest happening at the foot of your bed. He's probably going to rip his IV out and try to hobble out of the hospital in his backless gown just to escape the noise. I'm calling it. He's going to discharge himself, and it's going to backfire spectacularly, manifesting a total dumpster fire by the next update, because there is no way Bill survives on the outside without medical care while Hayley is still actively trying to end his life. Okay, wait, I need to take a deep breath because we haven't even gotten to the most unhinged part of the spoilers yet. Andre Richardson, send help, my soul has actually left my body. The spoilers say Andre is going to issue a threat on Friday. A threat. Andre is usually so stoic, so calm, but this man is being pushed to the absolute edge. We know he had a highly secretive meeting earlier in the week after getting advice from Ted, and now it's basically confirmed that the meeting was with Heather Armstrong. Heather, the skewer. Let's dissect this tea with absolute cinematic mayhem. Andre and Heather reconnected, and apparently Heather was acting super affectionate, which is honestly so unhinged because Heather is a literal menace with a dark past, and Andre is a married man. But Heather doesn't care about boundaries. She's currently trying to manipulate Vanessa McBride, and now she's getting all cozy with Andre. Andre is probably so stressed out. He's been getting cryptic texts from a stalker. His past is threatening to be exposed. He went to his Uncle Ted for advice, and now he's dealing with Heather throwing herself at him. So, Andre issues a threat. He is probably going to slam his hands on a table, look Heather dead in the eyes, and tell her to back off because he is a married man. He is going to defend his marriage to Dani. And this is the part that makes me want to scream into a pillow. Andre is out here threatening dangerous women to protect his vows, while his wife, Dani, is literally at the hospital calling her ex-husband her husband and letting Bill seduce her. The irony is physically painful. I am genuinely unwell thinking about how loyal Andre is being, while Dani is making a complete mockery of their relationship. Bestie, Andre deserves so much better, and when he finds out what Dani has been up to, the fallout is going to be apocalyptic. But how is Heather going to react to this threat? Heather is not the type of woman you just threaten and walk away from. She is calculating, she is manipulative, and she holds grudges. If Andre rejects her and threatens her, she is going to add him to her hit list. She's already in a nuclear sibling rivalry with Joey. She's plotting something with Vanessa, and now she's going to have a vendetta against Andre. I am terrified for him. Heather is officially on my do not perceive list. She is so toxic, but also she makes for incredible television. I can't stop watching her wreak havoc. And speaking of Heather wreaking havoc, let's talk about the shadow lurking behind her. Randy Parker. The spoilers say Randy is following orders from his boss, Joey Armstrong, and is tailing Heather. Joey is literally the only person in this town with any sense right now. He knows his sister is up to no good. He's already warned Bill about his health, he's clashed with Vernon Dupree, and now he's putting a tail on his own flesh and blood. Joey's casino boss energy is honestly everything. Tangent, but can we appreciate Joey's aesthetic for a second? The suits, the brooding in the casino, the constant paranoia, it's giving me life. So, Randy is following Heather, creeping around Fairmont Crest, and he is definitely going to witness this intense, threatening interaction between Heather and Andre. Imagine Randy hiding behind a bush or sitting in a parked car with tinted windows, taking blurry photos of Andre aggressively pointing a finger in Heather's face. What is Randy going to report back to Joey? Hey boss, your sister is getting threatened by Andre Richardson. Joey is going to lose his mind. He already has beef with half the town, and now he's going to think Andre is involved in whatever shady business Heather is cooking up. The misunderstandings are going to pile up so high, it's going to be a glorious disaster. The Armstrong sibling war is escalating to a level I didn't even think was possible. Joey is trying to keep his empire clean and protect the people he cares about, while Heather is just running around lighting matches and dropping them on everything she touches. If Joey finds out that Heather is messing with Andre, who is connected to the powerful Richardson family, Joey might have to step in and handle his sister himself. I am genuinely shaking, just anticipating the confrontation between Joey and Heather when Joey reveals he's had her followed. She is going to explode. Let's just take a step back and look at this massive web of chaos. We have Madison getting conflicting stories about a poisoned Bill, who is trying to escape a hospital room where his current killer wife and his ex-wife are engaged in a screaming match. We have Chelsea spiraling into past kidnapping trauma, potentially bringing Allison back into the fold. We have Andre threatening a dangerous woman to protect a marriage that his wife is currently destroying. And we have Joey Armstrong orchestrating a surveillance operation on his own sister. This is not just a soap opera. This is a high-octane psychological masterpiece where the stakes are astronomical. I am literally physically vibrating from the sheer audacity of this saga. I have completely lost my grip on reality, and these fictional characters are now my entire personality. I am not okay. I am going to be thinking about Dani's betrayal, Madison's confusion, and Andre's misplaced loyalty all night. If you need me, I will be in my bed, staring at the ceiling, trying to manifest a happy ending for Chelsea and Madison, while simultaneously praying for the absolute destruction of Hayley Hamilton. Did I say that yet? Whatever. It bears repeating. Okay, besties. My brain is visibly buffering right now. I need to go finish my errands before I get kicked out of this store for talking to my phone so loudly. Drop your unhinged prophecies in the comments right now because I need to know I am not spiraling alone. Who do you think is feeding Madison the real story? Will Bill actually escape the hospital? And what is Heather going to do to Andre? Let's spill all the tea in the comments, and I will see you guys in the next update. Stay chaotic, stay invested, and remember to trust absolutely no one in Fairmont Crest. Bye!